I was 17 years old when I got into a basketball accident that chipped my front tooth and caused me to get braces. I had always hated visiting doctors and dentists, but my parents insisted that it was necessary to help repair my self-esteem. Reluctantly, they found one of the best dentists in the capital city of Ukraine and introduced me to her. Her name was Tatiana. She had long, curly, blonde hair and sapphire blue eyes. She was 28 and looked surprisingly young and fit as a high school student. I didn't really like her when I first met her, and as I found her quite shy and introverted. She would always hold deep conversations with my parents and barely paid attention to me. However, it all changed when she saved my life. I was going back to school in September when I overheard my best friends trash-talking me. It turned out that I had been kicked off the basketball team and replaced as captain. Rumors began to fly around that I got kicked off because I wasn't good enough. Close friends turned away from me as people began to leave me. Soon enough, I was all alone, left to fend for myself at school. Issues and family arguments began to overtake our house as my parents constantly fought over moving abroad. My dad was settled for moving to Sweden, but my mom wanted to stay in Ukraine with me. I couldn't take it anymore, so one day I thought about ending my life. I went to the small bridge in our hometown and held on to sharp wires. I wanted to jump when the same girl approached me from behind. "Sasha," she called out. "Don't do it." She pulled me away, embracing me tightly as I let down into tears. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I just started bursting out crying. For the first time, she told me she understood what I was going through. She held me close and hugged me before she invited me to a nearby coffee shop. We became friends and ended up chatting for hours. I realized that I had been wrong about her. She didn't care that I was younger than her and accepted me as an equal. I returned home safely and agreed to get my teeth readjusted to fix my self-esteem. Soon enough, we began to see each other weekly, and I slowly began to fall for her. The more we talked, the cuter she seemed. I realized that it was wrong for me to have such feelings, and even though she was married. But that didn't stop me from going ahead. Soon enough, we began to hang out daily, and I decided to break the ice. One day after my 18th birthday, I invited her out to the restaurant and asked her if she liked me. She took a pause as she looked down and then looked back up at me. I thought that I had failed for sure and that this would ruin our friendship completely, but she did not react in a negative way. In fact, she smiled back at me and smirked, saying she knew all along. I was expecting her to get up and leave, but she stayed back to my surprise. I was shocked. She leaned towards me and she told me that she loved me too. I couldn't hold back the tears of joy when I heard this, but I knew I had to be sure of my feelings before I could commit to anything. My parents weren't happy when they found out about the relationship, but there was nothing they could do after I turned 18. We ended up falling in love and immigrating to Sweden, where we live today.